Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Pillar to Post. It's been a while since I've done a Monday Night Raw review, as well as SmackDown and NXT, but good reason for that. I've been a busy man. We got Big Dog Wrestling now off the ground, playing on our channel 6 days a week now. So you've got your regular Friday Fight Night, you've got your Warfare, you got your Suicide Sunday. Today at 2 o'clock we did our first episode of Mayhem, and tomorrow we're going to do it all over again. But like I said, tonight is about Monday Night Raw. And I've got a special guest with me tonight. He's already done his Monday Night review, and he's got similar opinions of the wrestling business as I do. I want you to welcome Tyler Black to the stream. How's it going, Tyler?
I am doing good, Pete.
Now, we both took in Raw tonight. I actually stayed awake through it because I didn't let myself fall asleep tonight. I wanted to see that last man standing match, which I'll get to later on. But first, I want to give a shout out to my sponsors. They are audibletrial.com/pillar to post. You get a free audiobook download and a choice from over 180,000 titles. Now, they've got a shitload of genres for you, a shitload of titles to choose from. Check them out. And if you haven't used that link before, let me say it again, audibletrial.com/pillar to post. And you get your shot at a free audiobook. On top of that, they offer you a 30-day free membership where you can check out all the things that they do. You don't get nailed for it, and you can end your membership whenever you please. On top of that, I'm going to let tonight's guest do the other one. That is what is it called again? Something merch.
That is called Grapple Merch. That's called Grapple Merchandise. All you got to do is go to www, which is after grapple.bigcartel.com, and you type in these coupon codes, The Beast, or Pillar to Post 77, or Deadshot at checkout, and you will save 10% off your purchase of Grapple merch or Grapple boxes.
There we go. Thank you very much for that, Tyler. Now, you already did your review, and you know as well as I do because I sat there and watched the crap as well. What did you think of tonight's Raw? Just your generalization of the whole show.
The whole show, like the opening segment, that was good. Brock Lesnar suplexing and F5 in the Miz and Miz Strides. That was good. I enjoyed that. But then Things just went downhill after that. After that opening segment.
It's like that with every Raw show, it seems. They have a pretty good opening segment. And then throughout the whole damn show, it just keeps on getting worse, gets worse, gets worse. And I was really hoping that it was going to really pick up the last hour. I got to say, it was one of the worst main events I've seen in a long time.
Yep.
And to me, that's saying a lot because I love seeing a good Roman Reigns beatdown. I really do. Especially at the hands of Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman does it so well. But the best part of that match, I was sitting there, I'm starting to get really drowsy. I was so drowsy throughout the whole show, but I was starting to get really drowsy through this main event. It was a last man standing match. And all of a sudden, this black chair goes flying across my screen, and all I see is Roman Reigns. It connects with Roman Reigns' face, and he goes wham, right down on the mat. And I couldn't help. I burst out laughing so hard over it because it was so unexpected. That was the best part of the whole match.
Yep.
Like it was a joke at this point. Like, I have never seen a referee start the 10 count when there's a guy down on one knee. The count is only supposed to begin when he is down flat on his back.
Yep.
But yet we've seen the ref start count out Braun Strowman when he was down on one knee. Like, my goodness.
He did that a couple times in that match when Braun was on one knee. He started the account. And yeah, you got to be fully on the ground before the count starts.
Exactly.
How dumb are these refs?
On top of that, every time Roman Reigns was knocked down, he'd start the count, but as soon as Roman Reigns got to his knees, he stopped counting. But with Braun Strowman, it was the exact opposite. He counted to Braun Strowman until he was fully on his 2 feet. Made absolutely no sense.
No.
You know, we like to joke on Big Dog Wrestling how I don't pay the refs and they constantly screw up. And we all know 2K17 sucks when it comes to the referees.
Yep.
But this is actual real life Raw, and the refs don't know what the hell they're doing.
Nope.
And that isn't even the worst part. If you looked at the women's match tonight, there was a lot of botches in there.
Oh,
and,
definitely. Both of them.
It was ridiculous. But we're going to start with the opening segment here, folks. Now, basically, Miz wanted to have Jason Jordan out there again, the son, and I'm doing the quotations here, the son of Kurt Angle. And Kurt Angle comes out onto the stage and says, "No, that ain't happening. Jason Jordan's got other things to do tonight. He'll be taking on one of your Miztourage members in Curtis Axel. But you have someone else that you got to do an interview with, and that's Brock Lesnar." Now, I don't mind. Everyone knows how I feel about the whole segments with, you know, the highlight reels, the Miz TVs and all that. They could really do something like that after the shows. And they did. They had Smack Talk or Talking Smack, whatever it was called. They had After Raw or whatever the hell that was called. That's where they should be doing this stuff. Not on the show. But this I didn't mind too much because I knew as soon as Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar got out on stage, someone was getting hurt. And if someone's getting hurt, this guy's happy, you know? Now, what was your response when Kurt Angle came out and said, no, Jason Jordan isn't doing this?
Well, because there's been rumors that they're not even going to go ahead with the match at SummerSlam, so they're going to wait to probably after SummerSlam to have that match for the Intercontinental title. So
Jason Jordan is already in line for a title shot.
Yep, they've always said he's in line for a title shot after what he did to Miz last week.
Damn. Now, I like guys that have to earn their shot. And we don't see that anymore in wrestling any day. Or at all today. Not a damn single one of them actually earns their shot. You've got some that are left off the shows and underutilized and just neglected. And then you've got others that they are catered to hand and feet. And it makes no sense to me. You got a guy that's getting how many millions in his paycheck to sit on his ass and hold a title in Brock Lesnar. He has got the amateur background in wrestling. He's got the fighting skills of mixed martial arts from UFC. And he's got his pro wrestling background. And what did we see tonight? It's like every match he's in or every segment he's in where he attacks someone, it is German suplex, German suplex, German suplex, F5. And this guy has such a unique background. That's all you see from him. Like, what does that make you feel like there, Tyler?
It's pathetic because that's what we're seeing every time out when we see Brock. Suplex. Why don't he go back to the Brock of old when WrestleMania 2003 when he tried that freaking what was that maneuver? Yeah, that shooting star press. Why don't he go back to that?
At least then you had a believable sense that this guy had an actual set of balls, you know?
Yeah.
Now, you know what? They stuck him with a stigma. And it was, welcome to Suplex City. And that stigma has stuck. So now that he's back, that's all he's going to do until he goes back to UFC. It's going to be suplex, F5. Wash my hands of it. I'm going home. I'm collecting the paycheck. your fucking title means absolutely piss all to me, but you're making me a rich man. You know?
Yep.
Um, and the commentary today, did you listen to how bad Booker T was coming off? He was
Oh yeah,
messing up bad
Booker T
today.
was horrible. He was horrible.
And I usually
No
love
doubt.
Booker T on the commentary
So do I.
because he keeps those other commentators focused on the match. He keeps them focused on what's going on. Usually you want to go and talk about what happened last week or what's going to happen next during the show. He keeps them on track, focused. And tonight he was so terrible. I literally hated him being on commentary today.
Yep, same here. He could have done a lot better than what he did.
Now, during the opening segment, Heyman tries to talk, but Miz puts up his hand and tells Heyman basically to shut his mouth. When his hand goes up, your mouth goes shut. How stupid does that fucking thing sound, When my
I hate
hand
that
goes up, your
saying.
mouth goes shut.
That is the most retarded saying.
So Miz goes around and says Lesnar is guaranteed to lose at SummerSlam. Why? Well, because it's a fatal four-way. He doesn't need to be pinned anymore. He goes on to mock Paul Heyman, basically hello, my name's Paul Heyman, and I am the advocate of Brock Lesnar. Basically ripped off all the opening lines that Heyman uses. But Heyman ended up putting him in his place, and he asked Miz, do you and your wife enjoy role play? And this kind of shocked as well as stunned Miz. So Heyman goes to reiterate, and he goes, because myself, I enjoy role play. So here's what we're going to do. Miz, you kind of come off like Roman Reigns. And then he looks over at the baby brother of Bray Wyatt. That is Bo Dallas. And he goes, oh, you're looking all pumped up. You're all ready for a fight. You got your fist clenched. You're Samoa Joe. And then he turns around and he looks at Curtis Axel. And he goes, the beard. You're Braun Strowman. So this is what we're going to do. Brock Lesnar is going to portray himself. And this is what's going to happen at SummerSlam. And Paul Heyman exits the ring. And what do you know? What happens? German suplex, German suplex, German suplex. F5, F5, and F5 for you people. There you go. The opening segment's over. And if you didn't know that was going to happen, you have got to be one of the worst wrestling fans in the history of wrestling at this point in time. Because, goddamn, if he would pull out a suplex or maybe a body slam out of somewhere, maybe a backbreaker or, a side slam, it'd be a shocker in this guy's life. I'm pretty sure Tyler here would be shocked if he's seen a different move coming out of Brock Lesnar.
Oh, definitely I'd be shocked.
Now, like we said, it wasn't a bad way to open the show, but I've got such a chapped ass when it comes to Miz TV that I gotta personally go after a Raw episode, go to the bathroom, get some hand cream out there, some moisturizer, and start rubbing it all over my ass because it's so goddamn chapped at this point because of the way the wrestling business is portrayed that I need a little bit of moisturizer on my fucking ass.
Oh, wow.
And then we move on to Seth Rollins versus Sheamus. And, of course, he's going to have his butthole buddy, Cesaro, in tow. Now, it wasn't a bad fight. It wasn't a bad fight. But you know what? We've been seeing these matches so often lately. and they don't know how to build a storyline anymore. Okay, they've forgotten that the way of telling a story inside the ring. They forgot about telling a story outside of the ring. Okay, you do not need to be in a feud and fight each other week in and week out. There is promos for that. There is sneak attacks for that. There is so many different avenues you can take to keep the storyline going. But no, what do they do today? They give you the same match that you seen last week. And they're going to keep on doing that all the way up to SummerSlam. So probably next week we'll see Seth Rollins take on Cesaro. And then Ambrose will take on Sheamus. And the two will continue to help each other out, if they like it or not. And then we're going to see Ambrose and Seth Rollins go up for a title shot, and they're going to win it. Because, the whole possibility of the Shield reforming is going to sell tickets. Let's tease the fans in a big way. Let's bring two of those guys back together and have them win the titles. The fans are going to eat it up and give us their money and lick our ball sacks. And we're going to go home happy men, because why? We gave them just a little inch of what they wanted, and we got off because they licked our balls. Simple as that.
Yep.
And that's all I've got to say about this match. You know, it wasn't a bad match, but I'm tired of seeing the match over and over and over again, and that's what we've seen tonight. Almost throughout the whole show.
Yep.
Now, obviously, Sheamus won the match, and after the match, Rollins dives through the ropes into Sheamus and Cesaro. The numbers game is too much for Cesaro and Sheamus. Too much for Rollins, as Cesaro and Sheamus beat down Rollins. And Sheamus and Cesaro glare up at the stage, waiting for Dean Ambrose to show up, but never does, because why? Well, last week, Dean Ambrose told Seth Rollins, don't bite off more than you can chew, because I won't be there to save your ass next time. And that's exactly what went down. But I've got this sneaky suspicion. There is whispers and rumors that they want to turn Ambrose heel.
Yep.
So are they trying to do this through Seth Rollins? Have Seth Rollins build up sympathy, with the fans, because he's not getting help from his former best friend. And then the fans start frowning and booing Ambrose because he's not there to watch Rollins back. It's starting to seem like that's the route they're taking.
What? Start something.
Now, what's your opinions? Would you rather have a heel Ambrose and a heel and a face Rollins, or would you like to see them both turn heel?
Well, I would want to see a heel turn of Dean Ambrose, because him face, it's boring.
It is.
It's seriously. He needs to go back to being John Moxley, that type of of character he was in CZW.
He's called the lunatic fringe.
Yep.
But you never see any kind of lunacy about him. All right?
Nope.
There's no crazy, death-defying, I'm going to do whatever it takes to win this match. There's none of that. And frankly, like you said, he's boring. Especially when he wins a title belt.
Yep, he's boring when he wins a title.
He wins a belt and he slows down and he doesn't look like he even wants it. Which is strange to me. But same with Rollins, though. Rollins, I would rather see him as a heel as well. But I know they're really pushing the babyface move on him. And it just doesn't sit well with me. Now, after the match, Rollins goes backstage, runs into Ambrose. Excuse me. Ambrose tells Rollins that he told Rollins not to do that. Now, Rollins has made Ambrose look like a real jerk. Rollins yells at Ambrose that he is a jerk. Rollins asks him what he has to do to prove he isn't the same guy. Ambrose says he isn't sticking around to find out. Ambrose says he is alone, as always, and walks away. So, up next, we're supposed to have Jason Jordan taking on Curtis Axel. But due to the fact that he got a little banged up with the Brock Lesnar run-in,
the
the trainer tells Kurt Angle He's not cleared to wrestle. So Angle grabs a random wrestler that just happens to be right there by the trainer's room. Some dude named Jean-Pierre Goulet. And you knew it was some guy from the Indies here in Canada. You know, they were in Toronto. It was a Quebec fella. The fans were actually cheering his real name if you didn't hear it. I can't remember what they were cheering, but it wasn't Goulet. Definitely wasn't Goulet. But did you notice when Jason Jordan made his entrance, there was no fan reaction at all?
Nope.
Like, what do you think of this storyline? Because
I think it's a stupid storyline.
I think they did it to kind of push Jason Jordan. At the same time, it's supposed to be the storyline that gets Kurt Angle back into the ring as well.
Yep.
Now, I'm thinking that it's going to be in a situation where Kurt Angle's going to have to come back to fight, to basically fight along Jason Jordan at the beginning to save his son from getting harmed. But that it's elevated Jason Jordan at all? Absolutely not. Not in the fans' eyes. The fans do not like the storyline at all.
They don't, because they would rather have the storyline with him and Stephanie, with that storyline back then, try to say they had sex, and that would have been the freaking scandal storyline that they was talking about.
Now, Jason Jordan versus Jean-Pierre Goulet. Don't know why it happened. Don't even care. It was a complete squash match.
It's a squash match.
We didn't see anything new out of Jason Jordan. He wasn't tested as a singles competitor. He was giving a no-name jobber off the fucking street and given an easy win. Here's your guy for the night. Throw him around a little bit. Hook him with the pin. Bada bing, bada boom. You're done. Go get your rest. So, nothing really to talk about. Following that, we get Bayley making an in-ring segment, letting everybody know that she's injured. She cannot be at SummerSlam. They really try to push the envelope with the sympathy card for Bayley. I want to excuse Tyler for now. He's helping out his wife for a minute there.
I'm good.
What do you think about the way they try and build Bayley up? They're always looking for that sympathy from the fans for her.
That's what I hate about it. I think it's about time Bayley turns heel. I think it'd be the perfect time for her to turn heel. Quit being a freaking baby and start acting your age.
Exactly.
You're not a baby.
They showed pictures of her hair, of her today, where she's basically coming from the doctors or something. Her hair was down. It was all a mess. She actually looked like she was in her 30s. And I don't believe she's in her 30s yet. But she looked a lot older. Now, my problem with Bayley is that she does play that immature, kind of like teeny bopper kind of attitude. And I know it's done to get the little kids involved into the shows, have their parents buy the kids merchandise, Bayley bears and Bayley t-shirts, Bayley ponytails and whatnot. Maybe a chastity belt there, Bayley chastity belt in there as well for you. But it's not working. It's not helping her get elevated to where she needs to be. It's not going to help. And what I heard today was that while she's out rehabbing her shoulder, that she's might be going through a little bit of a reinvention of herself. She's going to take the time to reinvent herself. Let's see if that rumor's true, though. Because, for Christ's sakes, I can't deal with any more of this crap with Bayley.
She's reinvent herself, redo her character, yeah. Come out being a heel.
Come out being a heel or more of an adult, more of a mature Bayley. Even if she was a face, but she was more mature and took on more of an aggressive attitude like an adult would, I think that would go a long way to really elevate her. As long as they keep on having her cater to the little children, it's just not going to work. Not going to work at all. Well, Charlie points out that as they show the replay of Bailey's injury, Bailey didn't even look up. Bailey says she knew that she had to get past Nia Jax last week to prove that she is a real threat to the champion, that is Alexa Bliss. Bailey says the WWE Universe made her feel a lot better as she sat at home. The crowd starts to boo. Bailey says she is thanking the fans that are not booing. Those fans are the reason she is going to move forward from this. When asked who will go on to face Bliss, Bailey says her friend Sasha Banks. Now Banks comes to the ring, and it ends up being Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox versus Emma. The winner will go on to next week to face Nia Jax to crown our number one contender for the Raw Women's title. And I don't know if Tyler watched the same match as me, but there was so many botches in this match.
Oh, I watched the same match. Yeah, there was too many freaking botches. I couldn't even count how many there was.
You've got a woman with the talent from Australia like Emma, and Emma is a very talented wrestler from Australia. And since she's come back, I don't know if it's what they're telling her to do, how to act in that ring, how to move. She looks like garbage.
Yep.
She moves slow. There's no determination there. Alicia Fox, she always oversells or undersells. It's no difference. Sasha Banks, you know she's going to get catered to. And that's what this match is all about. Catering to Sasha Banks. Got to keep Sasha Banks happy. Got to give her the number one contendership. Got to move her on to face Nia. And we know, I know it's going to be Sasha Banks winning against Nia next week because she won this match. I thought it was a bullshit match.
It was a bullshit match.
So Sasha Banks is your winner. She goes on to next week to face Nia Jax. It's going to be another shitstorm of a match. We'll move on to a backstage promo from Braun Strowman. This is another thing I want to point out. Did you see Braun Strowman didn't look into the camera once?
Nope, he didn't.
His eyes were averted to a script he was reading and being fed. But at least
I agree.
At least he delivered that promo better than what a lot of people are doing when they're reading that script. I don't know about you, but I thought he did.
Yep, totally.
Now, if you haven't noticed, when there's backstage, back in the day when a guy would cut a promo, he'd look you right in the eye through the camera. It was like he was looking at the viewers who were watching them. There was no such thing as a script they were reading. They were told to get on that camera and sell. And if they couldn't sell, they got in shit after they were done. They got taught real quick, you get your shit in line. You got to sell yourself. You got to sell the match. You got to sell the feud. You have to sell the event. Not a damn person today can sell other than actually John Cena.
Yep.
You know, that guy doesn't need a script. Braun Strowman looked off to the side, read from a script, and he delivered it like he should have. But there was no heart in it. There was no rage. There was no, I'm going to murder you kind of vibe. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Any guy can read the lines, but if it isn't coming from here, and if you aren't really putting the passion of what you love into it, it's not going to come across as genuine. And that's what I thought about his promo today. It didn't come off as genuine or organic. Now, Braun Strowman tells Renee Young that he likes hurting Roman Reigns. And I like it that he loves hurting Roman Reigns, because Roman Reigns is a complete douchebag. Now, when Strowman is around, the big dog is nothing but a puppy. Strowman has broken Reigns' body. Now he is going to break his spirit. At SummerSlam, Strowman will be the only monster standing. And that was done, and then we move into the Enzo segment. And I'm so tired of this guy.
Yeah, so am I.
I'm so tired of him. Instead of using him as like they should, he can't wrestle himself out of a wet paper bag, people.
Nope.
So what do you do with a guy like that? He can talk the talk. He can't walk the walk. And I would say this to him personally, because I'm that type of guy. I don't give a shit who it is in life. If you cannot
Yep.
walk what you're talking, if you're letting your jaw do all the walking for you, that jaw's going to get broken. So what do you do with a guy that can do a good promo? You make him a manager.
Yep.
But what do? He goes from getting dropped by Cass, so they throw him up with Big Show. Who the fuck cares? Really?
And Big Show's retiring,
Yes.
so who cares?
It doesn't even matter. Like, I would like to see him go on. You know what? Have this little feud between him and Cass, after a couple of months. Have them reunite and have Big Cass say, look, I want to go it alone, but I want you by my side. Be my manager. Because Cass can't deliver a promo for the life of him.
Nope.
Have Enzo do that for him. Let Enzo do the talking. Now, Enzo calls Big Show to the ring. Enzo says Show knocked out Cass last week. Show says he doesn't want to call Cass soft, but Cass's jaw is real soft. Anderson and Gallows come out and challenge Enzo and Show to a match. And, that they deliver that line. Nerds. Enzo turns around and calls Anderson and Gallows Dr. Evil and Mini Me. And then he goes on to accept the match. Fucking retarded. Like, seriously. So it's Enzo and Big Show against Anderson and Gallows. And I'm going to be honest, I missed this match because I was busy cooking myself a kick-ass supper. I was at the stove cooking homemade chili and homemade fries for chili cheese
Like
fries.
I said, Pete, you didn't miss much of this match. This match sucked.
Now, it says Anderson and Gallows won.
Yep, they won with the Boot of Doom.
Boot of Doom. Now, I believe there was some interference, though, because I did hear from the kitchen. Was there interference or distraction from Cass in this match?
Big Cass came out, but he was like halfway on the stage when he came out. Then Anderson ended up hitting Boot of Doom, pinned Enzo 1, 2, 3 clean. And after the match, Big Cass came down, booted Big Show right in the mouth. Big booted him. Then threw Enzo right through the barricade, threw him right on the barricade. Started chasing him around the ring. Then Big Show knocked him out again.
Yes, that weapons of mass destruction. That was the only part of the match I actually caught. I've seen Cass walking around the corner of the ring to get at Enzo, and bam! Got hit with the weapon of mass destruction by Big Show. Laid him out flat. It was good to see. I think that was probably the only part of that match I probably would have enjoyed.
At SummerSlam, it's Big Cass versus the Big Show with Enzo up above the ring in a shark cage.
Yes, and that was a retarded segment. We'll get to that segment in a little bit because, Christ's sakes, I don't know. It was a horrid segment between Cass and Angle. I gotta say that. I didn't enjoy it at all. It was supposed to come off as funny and whimsical, but it sounded like crap. Up next, Finn Balor was in the ring, and there's an ongoing rivalry with him and Bray Wyatt. It started out of nowhere. Bray's been all over the place since he's been on Raw.
Yep.
1 minute it's Ambrose, 1 minute it's Seth Rollins, 1 minute it's whoever they decide it's going to be. Now all of a sudden it's Finn Balor. And to me, it just doesn't make any sense. There's nothing there that connects these guys, And I don't know if it's their way of bringing back the Demon King for the pay-per-views. It doesn't seem that way yet. but they're having this little dark thing between Bray Wyatt and Finn Balor. The lights go out, Finn Balor appears. The lights go out, Bray Wyatt appears. You know, it's been like this for a couple of weeks. Today, Balor's talking. All of a sudden, there's the Wyatt music hitting. The lights go out. Bray Wyatt appears in the ring. He's looking around, laughing, and turns around and finds that Balor's sitting up on that top turnbuckle. And then there's more laughter, a little attack ensues. Finn Balor got the one-up on Wyatt. And the lights go out again. Bray Wyatt's gone, but now he's on the Titantron. I don't
Weird.
I don't understand this. It doesn't make sense to me.
No.
Like, it's like they're trying to recreate The Undertaker through Bray Wyatt slowly. And it's not going to work. You know?
It's not going to work. Bray Wyatt, he's not Undertaker.
No.
I don't know why they're trying to rebuild Undertaker through Bray Wyatt. It's stupid.
You know, at least when Undertaker did these segments where he'd appear and disappear and reappear, he made it more interesting and believable. You know, it was done in a way that the fans could really come to grips with that kind of character. But Bray Wyatt isn't a character like that. He isn't like The Undertaker was portrayed. This Grim Reaper-like character that was almost indestructible. Bray Wyatt comes off as a cult leader. You know? And a cult leader doesn't have all these mystical powers and dark powers. He's about getting into people's minds and controlling them, getting them to do what he wants them to do. There's no disappearing tricks and illusions and shit like that. They need to drop that with Bray Wyatt in a big way.
Yep.
But other than that, you know, it's just, to me, it was garbage.
Yep.
And then we get Dean Ambrose versus Cesaro and Sheamus, and I got to tell you right here, this match felt like it went on forever for me. I don't know what you thought. I thought it should have been finished so much sooner.
Oh, yeah, it should have finished a lot sooner than what we got.
It dragged on and on and on, and I'm sitting there and I'm nodding off. I'm trying to stay awake. I'm pouring coffee as hot as I can down my fucking throat just to stay awake. Chain smoking like a motherfucker just so I can keep my eyes open throughout this match. Finally it ends. Dean Ambrose finally picks up the win. But as usual, like the match earlier on with Seth Rollins, Sheamus and Cesaro start beating down Ambrose again. Rollins hits the ring and makes the save. Ambrose gets to his feet and stares at Rollins, and he extends his fist in the Shield fist bump. And this time it's Rollins who just walks away. It's like, what the fuck, man? Make up your damn mind. You either want this guy to be your friend again, or what? What, now you got in your head that, oh, I got to prove myself more just to get him as my friend? Fist bumping him now wouldn't mean enough? Give me a fucking break. Up next, we have Akira Tozawa versus Arya Daivari. And I'm sitting here wondering, okay, why are we getting this match again? This is how many shows in a row now? They faced last week. Then they faced each other on 205 Live. And again on Raw. Can you please tell me why these guys have faced each other 3 in a row and they're not using any other cruiserweights on Raw? Tyler Black's falling asleep because even this fucking podcast can't do enough to make Raw sound fucking good.
I said that match sucked. Period. Like, they're not using the other cruiserweights.
No.
And it's sad.
They pick, okay, they've got Neville. which Neville's doing good in his spot, but I think it's time he moved on. Okay, I think
Yeah,
it's time
it's
that they
about
put him
time.
in the main card or on
Yep.
NXT again and let him win an actual fucking title that he can actually, get some elevation from. Put him in with the U.S. title or the Intercontinental title. He should at least be that. But what they do with the other guys is they'll pick two other guys for a couple of months to appear on Raw. And this month it's Akira Tozawa and Arya Davari. They don't show any other ones. Before that, it was Jack Gallagher and T.J. Perkins and someone else. Double A. Or A
Yep.
double, I should say. That's the way he says it.
Austin
Now,
Aries.
Akira Tozawa won this match. Who the fuck cares? Then we get a backstage segment. Roman Reigns says he doesn't watch Miz TV, but he heard about what happened. He doesn't care what happens to Lesnar. Reigns retired The Undertaker and isn't afraid to retire Lesnar. Reigns is going to be the next Universal title. And you know what? I got a fucking feeling deep in the pit of my gut that they are going to let Roman Reigns win at SummerSlam just so he can say he retired not only Undertaker, but he retired Brock Lesnar as well. And on top of that, now he's the Universal Champion. The Undestructible has become immortal. And I want to shoot myself in the fucking head because it is garbage. Like,
Roman Reigns needs to be completely heel. That's what he needs to be. A heel.
He also needs a new fucking overhaul. Okay? The
He
same
does.
fucking lines week in, week out. I retired The Undertaker. This is my yard. I'm the big dog. Suck my dick, and I'll maybe let you walk on by and enjoy a cup of coffee. Maybe I'll even let you use a little bit of cream in it. I'll give you some sugar, too. Fucking asshole. Like, Christ's sakes. So up next, we had Nia Jax versus Mickie James versus Dana Brooke. Now, as you all know,
Another
Mickie
box
James
match.
right now has the most talent out of all the women on Raw.
Yep.
She's got the most talent and she is used like fodder. She is pushed in a match and she is made to lose. Now, I know that's kind of what they're using her for now. She's older, she's the veteran. Make the other kids look good. Make them look so that way they get a chance and we'll maybe do something for you later on. But later on isn't happening. Why? Because everyone's got a boner for Sasha Banks and Bayley and Alexa Bliss.
Yep.
You know what? If I walked around with a heart on like Vince McMahon does for all the women that work for his company, I'd probably have my wife cut it off on me and throw it in the garbage. You know?
Wow.
It's that bad. You know, he gets a hard on for a couple of women, and those are the only women that are utilized properly. And then they're overused. You know, the other women, they sit on the back and, they sip their tea and eat their crumpets and, probably masturbate with each other just so they get off once in a while because Vince McMahon isn't giving them any love. He's just giving it to Sasha Banks and Alexa Bliss. Christ's sakes. Nia Jax wins the match with a leg drop across Dana Brooke's throat. And she advances over to next week's number one contendership. Bada bing, bada boom. It was sucked. It was a terrible match. Now, I do like Goldust. I like it that he's going his old route, but I want to see more of him. Okay? I'm tired of the backstage segments, folks. If he is going to do this, and I just almost dropped my microphone here. If he's going to go back and bring the Golden Age back, fine. Do so in the ring as well. Now, Goldust says SummerSlam is the great audition. Will Goldust find his next hero, villain, star, or starlet? Goldust is going to lead someone on the path to becoming golden. And I like the sounds of that as long as it doesn't end up like another fucking Stardust. Because we all know what that did for Cody's career.
Nah, that ruined Cody's career. Look at him now. Ring of Honor World Champion.
Fucking right, man. And I can't believe that WWE isn't trying to steal him back. You know, that guy, yes, he's a small guy, but he's got the charisma of a heavyweight champ. And he would have made a damn good one. Now, this is what me and Tyler were talking about earlier. Cass walks into Angle's office, and I really don't know why they call it his office. Okay, it's in the hallway. He's got some shit on the wall, a little monitor sometimes, and demands a match with Big Show at SummerSlam. But Cass wants Enzo barred from the state. Angle jokes about putting Enzo in a shark cage. Cass says he likes the sound of that. Angle agrees. Cass will face Show at SummerSlam with Enzo suspended above the ring in a shark cage. How fucking lame is that?
That's basically like the Warrior Rumble with Chris Jericho being in the shark cage.
Yep. And frankly, if they wanted to do that, fine. You know what they could have done? Basically something like Hell in a Cell. Okay? But it's a steel cage with a roof on it. And then on that roof is a little cage where Enzo's in. Now, if Big Show can open up the trap door, Enzo can be released, and he's included in the match, and it's a double team against Cass. Both Big Show and Enzo get their revenge on Cass. That would have made it a little bit more interesting, I think. You know?
Yep.
And, have this little ladder that, falls down, and Big Show's got to climb up and, unleash the trap door, and down climbs Enzo, and it's a handicap match inside an enclosed steel cage match. Bada bing, bada boom. It would have been interesting. Or Cass devastates Big Show, gets put over in a big way, and he can unlock the trap door, and he gets to wail all over Enzo for a good 5 minutes of a match. To me, that's interesting. Hanging some dumbass above the ring in a fucking shark cage is boring. Why not just lock him up in a storage closet in the fucking back?
Yep.
Ridiculous. And then we finally get to our main event of the evening. The worst ever last man standing match in the history of WWE. And for a guy that loves to see Braun Strowman kick the shit out of Roman Reigns, this is me saying a whole hell of a lot when I say that is the worst fucking last man standing match in the history of WWE. Hell, Big Dog Wrestling has put on better fucking last man standing matches than that. God
same
damn,
here. Same here with the hits.
At least the people watching were excited about it. This was complete
Same here with Hit Squad Radio Wrestling.
Exactly. Hit Squad Radio as well. And that's what you know what, before we even get this, people, do me a favor. This is Tyler Black. He runs a show and a channel called Hit Squad Radio. Make sure you
actually, it's under my name, Tyler Black.
What was that?
I said the channel's actually my name, but like I said, my podcast is Hit Squad Radio Wrestling, so yeah.
Okay, thanks for the correction. The channel is Tyler Black. Like he said, check him out. He is a great guy. He puts on a hell of a show, and he does a damn good job entertaining people. And now with the mods that you've got in tow, your show's cleaner. You get to have fun like you haven't been able to do in a long time. And people are starting to actually liking being on your channel because it isn't filled with trolls making you pissed off and having you screaming at the top of your lungs.
Yep.
Those days are gone. But I'm not going to go through this whole match with you because there's no fucking point in it. like I said at the top of the show, the best part of this match is when I seen that black chair go flying across my screen and just nail Roman Reigns' ass down to the arena floor. The best part of this match by far. Now, how it ends, I'm going to jump right to the end. Samoa Joe is hidden in the fans right on the front row. Roman Reigns thinks he's finally put down the monster among men. Beat him down with a spear from the ramp, which to me was ridiculous. He just got hammered down himself, and out of the blue he pops up on his feet and he's Superman all over again, running down that fucking ramp, delivers a huge spear, takes out Strowman. He's up against the barrier, kind of celebrating, I got the big monster down and out. I've won this match. Joe slaps on the coquina clutch, gets dragged over the barrier by Roman Reigns. He holds on to the coquina clutch and basically puts Roman Reigns down. Now, the referee resumes his count at the start of 1, and we get all the way up to 8, and all of a sudden, Braun Strowman leaps to his feet in a shot. Braun Strowman wins the match. Samoa Joe's all pretty and pink about it, and that was the end of our main event. The rest of it, complete fucking shit. Okay? I'm just pointing out my opinions here. Yep. Now, I'm going to let Tyler do his own little rundown of this fucking ridiculous main event. What did you think
This main event sucked. It sucked. We seen what? Wellman hit drive-by. He hit his drive-by. He put Strowman through the table, Samoan drop, which he could barely even lift him up anyway. So Samoan dropped him through the table. Freaking Braun Strowman uses one of my finishing maneuvers I do on the game, which I call overkill. He used that maneuver, so he's stealing my moves. It's pathetic.
No, it's
just like Aiden English uses Ace's maneuver, so it's pathetic.
Now, I don't know if I'm looking forward to SummerSlam or not. Like I said earlier, if in the pit of my guts, I got a feeling they're gonna have Roman Reigns wins that Universal title, which retires Brock Lesnar, because he's already stated, if I lose, I'm leaving WWE.
Yep.
So we're gonna have.
But the bad part is, he can't fight in UFC for at least 6 months. He's suspended for 6 months when he re-enters the drug testing system.
Exactly. But what I hate about this is if Roman Reigns wins, we are going to have to hear about him retiring Undertaker as well as Brock Lesnar for the rest of his fucking career. Because that's the only thing he's got in his promos these days. I retired the dead man. I dug his hole, and I took his soul, and I shat it out on the front lawn. There you go, brothers and sisters. Eat that up for you. It's like, my God, can the guy get a new line? But, ladies and gentlemen,
Can he get a whole new outlook?
Yes. You know what? Take off the protective vest. Actually wrestle like a man, you know? Instead of having that chest protector there, so that way the backhand chops don't bruise him, or, you know, he doesn't feel as much pain through it. Get rid of it. Be a fucking man for a change.
Why don't he go back to being like an NXT when he wore the tights? And
yes, exactly. But I want to thank Tyler Black for joining us here on Pillar to Post. Remember, check him out. It's it's Tyler Black. His podcast is Hit Squad Radio. He also does a lot of 2K17 WWE gaming, like I do. Check him out.
Yep.
He's, like I said, you guys have been here with me. He's a cool cat. He's a great podcaster. He'll give it to you straight. He's polite about it. And he isn't going to be an asshole unless you actually make him want to be one. My name is Pete Wall, as always. This is Pillar to Post. You've been with me in my dungeon. I am your favorite dungeon dweller, folks. This was the Raw Report. Have a good night. And I will see you tomorrow for the SmackDown Report. courtesy of Pete Wall and Pillar to Post. And maybe, just maybe, we get Mark on here tomorrow and we have a little wrestling roundtable. How's that sound?
Hell yeah. That sounds good, Pete. Hell yeah.
Okay, guys, have a good night. I'm going to upload this shit for you, and may you lap it up right there on the tip of your tongue.